Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the most unusual tarot slash metaphysical reading on the internet, maybe anywhere else. We work on it that way. It's because we give you the big picture. That's how we do it. Take a 3 card read. It's all I need. Been doing tarot for over 20 years. More than 3 cards, you start to water down, convolute the message. Too many frequencies. Every card is a frequency in tarot, right? So 3 cards because there's a magic to 3. Tesla thought so. Einstein thought so. Catholic Church, Trinity, all that. 3 is something special. Okay, so 3 cards, that's it. Take each of the frequencies of the 3 cards, combine them together into one clear message. Simple, clean, direct. I don't want to have you guess what the energy is. I want you to know it. I want you to feel it. I want you to see it. I want you to hear it. I want you to touch it. No fantasy, no unicorns, no rainbows, no mystery frequency coming in from outer space. It's your manifest. It's your manifesting. It's your matrix manifesting through the tarot. That's the destination. It is literally your human kryptonite. Okay? The tarot reading, and again, I think I said, sometimes I repeat myself, 20 years doing tarot. Found out it really, from my point of view, it really didn't amount to anything, except I discovered tarot is the science of potential, your potential. Here's a frequency. A tarot reading should give you a singular frequency, a singular destination. You start throwing out 20, 30, 40, 50 cards or more, it's chop suey. That's not a tarot reading. 3 cards, 3 frequencies combined into one. That's your kryptonite. That's your life. That's your potential. Tarot transmutation. So that's step 1. That's what helps to make this tarot reading different. Step 2 is, okay, I give you the energy. I give you the destination. This is where you're going. This is what you have to work with. This is your potential. Super. So what the hell do you do with it? Well, that's the second step. I use astrology because I've done astrology, numerology for over 50 years. They're the science of cycles. That's why in human history, there's nothing new. We just keep repeating the same old shit over and over and over again, and we never seem to learn. Never seem to learn. Whatever. But that's just the way it works. Just to give you a very, very brief idea, the planets Pluto and Neptune come together every 500 years. That takes that long to match up again, right? Repeat a spot. So in 992, yeah, more than 1,000 years ago, 992, there was something huge that happened in the Middle East, Europe, Asia. You got 3 different philosophical groups getting together who never got together before. The Mongols, I think the Byzantine, the Christians, whatever, a whole bunch of them, maybe some Muslims, all got together and said, we're going to make peace. We're going to organize. We're not going to fight each other. We're going to organize. That was a major change in world order, 992. Go up 500 years, that's 1492. Columbus heads to the New World, or so-called New World. That has a profound change around the entire planet. So 992, you get these 3 big groups in the Middle East and in Asia getting together and saying, we're going to work together. 1492, Columbus takes off and tries to discover a new world. Add 500 years to 1492, you get 1992, George Bush declaring a new world order, which, of course, we're suffering through right now. But you get the idea. The situations are changed, but the energy is exactly the same. 992, 1492, 1992. Same energy. Well, that's why it's important to do the astrology numerology. So we give you the tarot frequency, 3 cards distilled into one. You know your plan of action. It's clear. Where are you going? Well, the astrology numerology tell you. What's being repeated? It's kind of the cosmic weather report. Now, sometimes I just take stories from current life because those stories kind of carry the same sort of a feature. There's a feeling to the stories. So it's either astrology or modern stories that I want you to see or feel the destination. Again, think of it as a cosmic weather report. You got the tarot energy, what you going to do with it? Ah, I see. I got the weather report. I know what I have to prepare for. Either way, the tarot frequency is activated. You have the kryptonite to use or not use. Today, the message is the cost of surviving. There are no freebies. There is nothing free. There is a cost to everything, including not making a decision, not doing anything. There's a cost to that. What we're talking about is what does it take to survive? And especially right now, because we see this repeated energy, the world is changing. We have to play our part. We have to use that tarot energy in our lives, or we're going to be victims. And I get the feeling sometimes that people would just assume be victims because it's easier that way. I don't have to exert myself. I don't have to take responsibility, but it doesn't work. You ain't going to be happy with the end result. So we have the tarot frequency. That's where we're headed. That's the tool. And then we have to find out the location. We have to have the map. We have to have the cosmic weather report. What is coming at us so we know how to use the tool. And we're focused today on the cost of surviving. It's a huge cost. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, let's hit the cosmic cycles. Today's tarot message, it's the absolute essentials. And I do mean absolute. When you live in a world where it appears you have limitless choice, knowing what you really require to survive is almost impossible. Too many choices, too many tubs of slaw, just is thrown at you all the time. And so if you pick A, well, geez, I could have picked B or C. And if I pick B or C, well, maybe E or F is okay. And maybe back to A, and maybe, and you go nowhere. You're distracted. So to survive, the trick is to remove distractions. Life today is based on grabbing your attention. Take a look at the internet. They lie out their ass. They make all these phony things here. Oh, you wouldn't believe this. And then you get there and you find out it's nothing like what they indicated. Politicians lie. Businesses lie. It's one big lie. It's just a constant distraction. So life today is based on grabbing your attention. Don't play the game. Turn inside. You always have your answers within yourself. If you have to go outside to get the answers, if you have to depend on somebody else, well, just take a look at the world, the condition. You see what the end result is. So you find your answers within yourself. That will set you free. It's the only way to go, and you have to make a decision. You can't just keep going forward and going, well, How good is your life right now? Because you haven't made a decision. You haven't made a clear choice in terms of your absolute essentials. Get on board right now. Going to continue with all this. Just want to remind you, I do have an email, tao-tarot@proton.me, tao-tarot@proton.me. Feel free. Drop a line. You like me, you don't like me, doesn't make any difference. Just communicate, reach out, I'll get back. tao-tarot@proton.me. And I thank you in advance for that. All right, so let's get moving, huh? How about thinking out loud? Oh, man. As the world falls apart, people continue to pretend nothing's happening. I mean, it kind of seems that way. Kind of, okay, yeah, I know up in Europe you have millions of people protesting. Here in the United States, I'm not catching much of that at all. I know people are angry. I know they're pissed off. I know they're unhappy, but they don't do a damn thing. So as the world is falling apart around them, people just go, that's good enough. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're not going to be happy. And protesting by itself is not the answer. I don't care how many people you put outside and how many people you get marching. You're going to get Bill Gates to change his agenda. You're going to get the World Economic Forum to pay attention. You're going to get these rich bastards to hear you. All you're doing is marching, making noise. You're going to have to do something more. And that means that you have to be able to figure out what the cost of surviving is all about. Also, I have a quote here from John Wooden, probably the best or greatest basketball coach ever. At least he's a candidate for same. He says, when you accept mistakes but work on them, that's leadership. When you blame others for your mistakes, that's politics. And that's the world we live in. Everybody pointing fingers at everybody else when they should be pointing fingers at themselves, figuring out what is the cost of survival, true survival. What's my value system? Let's go to the meme of the day. Again, I've done this before, but I got a pretty good picture of it. This is from the Sovereign Independent. This was back, I think, in 2011. Billy Gates, depopulation through forced vaccination. Do you get the idea? Cost of survival is forced vaccination. Is that a cost you're willing to bear? By the way, just below it, it says, if mainstream science was true and the idiots always go, well, you know, it's a big issue. Real scientists doing real science have proven the vaccines, as they were called, and they weren't vaccines, they changed the definition, but those shots are killing millions of people around the world. And the message here is that the mainstream science was right. If they weren't lying to you, then all the anti-vaxxers, including myself, would be dead. I'm doing just fine, thank you. And then here on the right side, we talk about the shocking truths about today's reality. Remember, the cost of surviving is what we're focusing on today. And so today's reality, I'm not going to go through all 20. You got a big house, but you got a small family. You have more degrees, but you have less common sense. You take the latest Western medicine, as it's called, that's a joke, but you have poor health. High income, low peace of mind. High IQ, zero emotions. At the bottom, you have many contacts. You got them on your phone. But you have nobody to call. Read down that list, check that list out. It may help you determine the cost of your survival. Got the missing link, putting it all together. If you haven't figured it out by now, our entire government is a huge mafia. Run largely, but not exclusively, by Jews, but run by people who have no morals, no backbone, no integrity. Again, if you haven't figured out by now, the entire government is a huge mafia scheme who launder our taxpayer money right back to themselves. Yeah, you know, they give all these weapons to Ukraine and Israel, but that money gets filtered back here to our rich people. The bank's number one job, when they were putting together the charter for the Bank of England in 1695, you know what was the number one job of the Bank of England in 1695 was written down as? War. War. And that's how they get rich. Foreign wars, endless wars. That's why we're fighting wars all over the place, because the rich get richer. And this governmental mafia hate you, couldn't care less if you suffer and die horrible deaths. All they want to do is get rich. And a quick reminder here, because it's right around the corner, this whole idea of digital IDs. Anything digital can be hacked, wiped, programmed, blocked, frozen, controlled, monitored. They got control. They got to plug up your ass and a plug down your nose. They know what you're doing every minute. Digital ID is the gateway to full control. Talk about the cost of surviving. Put a cost on that. Let's go to the tarot reading for today. 7 Cups. If you're familiar with it, here's a guy looking at 7 different cups filled with 7 different things. That's the kind of world we live in. Things. More cars, more homes, more debt, more makes you smaller, smaller, smaller. But what they do is they conflate all these choices with freedom. And where it really counts, let's say here in the United States, picking a president doesn't make any difference whether you go left or right, Democrat, Republican, doesn't make any difference. You still end up with the same thing. The proof is in the pudding. I voted for Trump because words sounded good, and God, I hoped. Well, he lied. Yeah, he cleaned up the border a little bit, but after that, everything is going to make America great again? Bullshit. Now he's talking about running again in 2028, that they can jury rig the Constitution. Bullshit. Completely turned 180 degrees. But you can go to Dunkin' Donuts, you can go to a bagel shop, you can go to the store. Oh, yeah, man, I got a bunch of decisions here. I got to look at all these choices. You don't have any choices that matter. George Carlin got it right. You have no choices. The ones that really count, they control. And so the 7 of Cups, with all the choices, all the seeming choices, it just creates confusion. You're not happy with any of the choice that you made because you could have made the other one. And if you made the other one, then you could have done this. And you could constantly comparing, getting nothing done. That's the devil. That's the next card. We are addicted to technology. We're addicted to superficiality. Remember, we're talking about the cost of surviving. You want to continue to fool yourself? You want to continue to believe, not take responsibility, to put your head up your ass and breathe deep? Is that your answer for surviving? The cost of surviving? That's why they put the wars in front of you. That's why they put the pandemics in front of you. That's why they have men fighting women and white and black and all this other crap. It's distraction. That's the devil. Final card is the 7 of Wands. This is where you go, that's enough. That's enough. I'm going to control my fear. I'm going to control my addictions. I'm going to control myself. Big job. Big job. But that's what it's going to take. That's the cost of truly surviving, not simply existing, because that's what they want. Just exist. And in fact, we'll get rid of you anyway, because we want 95% of the people on the planet today gone by 2050. They've said so, point blank. What's the cost of surviving for you? The true cost. Lots of choices, lots of confusion. You get addicted, and right now you have the possibility of saying, that's it, I'm done. No more. I'm out of here. Adios. See you. Speaking of adios, time's up for today. Thank you very much for being here. I'm here each and every day for you, trying to do the best I can to give you information, to give you insight, to get you to keep thinking. That is also cost of survival. So thanks for checking in every day. Hey, by the way, like and subscribe. It is very, very important. There's some sneaky shit going on the internet. People are talking about losing subscribers. Very often people will say their YouTube cuts out, their Rumble cuts out, comes back. It's just, I don't know what's going on. So please like and subscribe. That's very important right now. Between now and the next time you and I do tarot together, peace and blessings.